That includes radio, the home of the Jaguars. Let's go! Here comes New York. New York wants nothing to do with Duval. Sunday at 1 o'clock. We'll have it all for you. Pre-game, in-game, post-game. We are your one stop right here on your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Couple of 3-10 teams. New York favored by 3.5. What do they have to play for? Your total 40.5. So again, we'll get you a little bit closer to kick tonight over the next 2 hours. But that is so true. The best things in life are free. Make someone smile tonight. Huh? Give. Buy around. You know? Giving becomes better than receiving. I don't know exactly when that comes into play for most of us. There's a lot of selfish people out there, especially you only kids, right? Single family kids. You're not expected to share. But I do. And I said this during our record-setting J-Fund year with Tom Coughlin, where can we get another applause? We put together $280,000. The generosity of you, these spectacular fans in Jacksonville. It really is so rewarding. And I remember being a snot-nosed kid growing up in Boston and just, what's under the tree? Was I a good boy? I want a hockey stick. I want hockey skates. I certainly want hockey cards. I want Bobby Orr's. I want the Big Bad Bruins. But it happens for most of us. And I don't know exactly when it does take place. But when you experience that, and for a lot of you it will be when you have kids. But when you experience it, it really is almost words can't describe it if you get that feeling. And that's what it's all about. A lot of holiday parties tonight, a lot of Christmas parties tonight, all throughout Duval. So there's going to be a lot of spirits lifted. Just do as I do. Have a hell of a good time. Please have yourself as well a designated driver. Does the mistletoe still work, or do you get canceled for that? And I wouldn't recommend bringing a mistletoe to your company Christmas party. Okay, that's probably not the way of 2024, but I think the first time I ever kissed a girl might have been because of a mistletoe, JJ.
What age are we talking?
7th grade, maybe? 8th grade?
Okay.
One of my knucklehead Irish buddies showed up with a mistletoe. It was on a hat. It was very creative. I borrowed it, and it was the first time my lips met someone else's lips.
I'm glad. I didn't know where that was going when your buddy showed up with the mistletoe. I wasn't sure. Dude, imagine, what you already know. I mean, office Christmas parties have drastically changed.
Oh, they used to be legendary.
Everybody's boozing and acting inappropriate. And, nowadays, good luck doing that.
I remember my first one here at the Ball when I'd only been in town for a couple of months. And it was a conglomerate of radio stations, and they were all put together for a party. And yeah, you are right. It was just a totally different world. Now it's we'll provide a ticket for you, 2 tickets. You can have one drink, 2 drinks.
Yeah.
And I get it. They don't want to be responsible. There's too much that you can be sued for now. But Christmas parties
fired for
in the 80s and the 90s it was just a different world. So a lot of you experiencing it tonight. I'm going to a Christmas party tomorrow night out in St. Augustine, a yearly party that the GF and I always make the trip to. Definitely looking forward to that. But maybe our listeners, because they're so astute and they're on top of everything, let us know what's going on mistletoe-wise. I haven't heard of a mistletoe. I think mistletoes kind of went out with Christmas caroling, right?
Yeah, how often do you see people show up at your front door singing?
We used to do that in high school.
You're asking for it nowadays.
You have some of that Irish coffee. You go door to door,
Really, in high school? With just a random group of friends or family? Or
yes, and it was,
You live such a wholesome life up in Massachusetts.
Well,
what happened to you down there?
It's a little bit where I grew up. Homes were it was very neighborly. You understand what I mean?
Suburbs.
No one left.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like they didn't move away.
Right. It was generation after generation after generation. I mean, I knew everyone on my block, right? And that included knowing people on the street in front of me and the street behind me. No one moved. You were born there, and I was one of the really, truly rare exceptions to get the hell out of there and go to Tallahassee, after the first 18 years. But I stayed in the same home. My parents lived there for, I think, 59 years in the same home.
God, I love that.
And that's so when you did things like as much as I love Bartram and I've been there, I know my neighbors really well to the left, Jim and Kathy. I know Marty to the right. I'm not sure what Marty's wife's name is. Okay. I don't know any other neighbors in my hood.
So if
they
you just
come and go and come and go and come and go.
knocked on the door and were like, hey, let's go, let's start singing, they would probably look at you a little weird. Yeah. Let me give you one piece of advice for everyone for office Christmas party specifically, that my dad gave me back in the day when I first got of drinking age.
All right, let me write this down.
Never drink more than your boss. Just see what your boss is like. What his vibe is, and kind of stick with that. Never go above and beyond your boss.
I've been perfect at the 1010 92.5 FM holiday parties. I don't think I've ever done anything wrong.
I'm trying to think if you even went to last year's.
I did. We went to last year's.
See, that's how I know you acted good. Yeah. Because I don't even remember you being there.
That was the...
at the golf simulator place?
Right.
That was sick.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Great food.
It was a very fun night. Absolutely. Now, what happens typically is that a few move on after the Christmas party to somewhere else, and then it really tend to get after
the bar next door. Yeah,
it's going on tonight. They're having a good time. Of course, JJ and I with you this evening. We kind of go every other. Next year, maybe we'll get back to the Christmas party. But I just don't. I'm really not in a mood to celebrate. I mean, the Jaguars are 3-10. Florida State went 2-10. When I get with people, unfortunately, I'm kind of labeled as, people aren't going to come up to me and ask me about my political views. People aren't going to come up and ask me what I think about the weather. The questions are going to be pretty simple. Is Doug Peterson going to be around? Is Trent Baalke going to be around? How much longer does Mike Norvell going to be around? What do you think about Thomas Castellanos as your new quarterback? So, to me, it's just like bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad. You see Ballou coming, it's like you dive into open doorways. It's like this guy, it's like from the Peanuts. I'm like Pigpen walking down the hall. It's like a cloud of dust and smog that, oh my God, here comes Ballou. His teams are a combined, 5-20. He's not going to bring any good news to the party. So that's part of the reason why I said thank you, but we'll do it again in a year. All right, let us know about that. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Mistletoe was great for the younger audience. I know that I'm guessing that doesn't come into play today because you would actually have to communicate in person, right? Don't you do all your communication now on the phone? Don't you figure everything out via text or Snapchat or Instagram, where if you were to place the mistletoe over the young girl, you would actually have to physically do something and then verbally, make a conversation. So again, I'm all ears on this, and certainly I would love to hear from you on it. Evan Ingram, IR, torn labrum. And I'm very surprised. Hell, I'm shocked because I listened to your head coach tell me that he would play. And I get it. Doug Peterson is checked out, okay? He's hanging around and he's getting paid. Communication is such a problem for this man. It's fascinating to me, all right? Look at what happened a year ago where Trevor's going to practice today individually, and then all of a sudden we find out a couple of hours later Trevor didn't practice. He's the head coach. There's your star quarterback. His season-ending press conference, he told us he needed time. He needed to sleep on any possible coaching changes. Within a couple of hours, it was announced that the entire defensive staff, not named Bill Shuey, was sent packing. Again, awful as far as communication. This year earlier, Evan Ingram had a hamstring injury. Doug made it seem as though it was not that big of a deal. Well, he missed 4 games. It was a huge deal. Foye Oluokun, same situation with his foot injury. Doug made it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. Went on the injured reserve. Missed 4 games. Wednesday, Peterson told us that Evan Ingram should be able to give it a go on Sunday. He didn't practice on Wednesday. He didn't practice on Thursday. I get it that things change. I understand all of that. But typically they change only if you're out there giving it a go. You're practicing at least in a limited fashion. He got DMPs both Wednesday and Thursday. This is being magnified because it's a losing franchise. If this team was 10-3, all the conversation would be, damn it, now you got to move on without Evan Ingram. It's going to give second-round pick Brenton Strange a real opportunity to show what he can do in the next 4 games. And this is a big loss. But it becomes secondary now because, once again, this is your head coach. And I just gave you 5 examples off the top of my head, okay? There are many more where he just doesn't know what is going on with his team. We learned in the short period of time with Urban Meyer that he didn't know his players' names. He didn't know who was playing. Or that was Urban. He was in his own little world, okay? And he was exposed early on. That's not Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is supposed to be a guy who knows everything that is going on with his football team. This is a former Super Bowl winning coach who has checked out. He has. And that's another example of it today. So that came in. Evan Ingram gone for the remainder of the year. While we're at it, it doesn't get discussed enough. Lack of communication is one of the biggest problems that we have. I mean, just think about it. Whether it's your personal life or your professional life, whether it's you with your wife, whether it's you with your mistress, whether it's you with your kids, whether it's you with your boss, if you had better communication day in, day out. JJ and I were just talking about something before the show began. Again, it's lack of communication. If you knew, if there was transparency, if there were things put into play before as opposed to after, think about how much easier your life would be, my life would be, JJ's life would be, and everyone out there listening, your life would be if you were able to communicate. We suck at it. We're the worst. I mean, just ask yourself right now, no matter where you're headed, whether you're driving home or you're heading out to a Christmas party or you're just meeting, just think about your personal life and your professional life and how many little things that are so minuscule that could be taken care of with simple communication is not. And then it becomes a huge story because, oh, I thought you had it. No, I thought she had it. No. Well, I was going to get to it. That it's got to be outside of greed. I mean, it's got to be truly one of the biggest problems that we have. And it's so fixable, especially with this. There's no excuse. I say it all the time. There's nothing that POs me more than people who don't respond to a text, people who don't respond to an email. Say what you want about me. I don't care who you are. I try to return every single one of the texts that I get every night on our text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. Thankfully, we get a few hundred of them, so sometimes it's impossible. There are people out there I'll get to you when I get to you. I mean, tell me to go jump in a lake. Tell me you don't want me to text you anymore. Tell me you don't want me to email you anymore. And I'll listen. I'm a very, 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 very good listener. But that's just so rude by people when you reach out to them. And especially for those of you who are in, let's say, the sales world or something along those lines, where it's very, very simple. Hey, Ballou, don't bug me anymore. Don't text me. I'm not interested. End of line. You won't hear from me again. But then you keep trying and trying and trying. Some of the simplest, I'm not, knucklehead buddies of mine, okay? Cronies. Some of my really good friends. How we screwed up tomorrow's tea time is worthy of about a 45-minute conversation. If I could take you through this process of how we screwed up scheduling a tea time for tomorrow, you wouldn't believe it. And again, what does it come down to? Not that we don't like one another, not that we don't want to play, not that we didn't know where we were going to play, not that we didn't know what time frame that we had to play because we're all going to Christmas parties tomorrow night, but we dropped the ball. Why? Complete, total lack of communication. And your head coach, Doug Peterson, he isn't any better. As a matter of fact, he's really bad. He is terrible when it comes to communication. Next coach, I don't care if he wants to run the ball, pass the ball, punt the ball. I don't care what he wants to communicate. Communicate with your staff. Communicate with your players. Communicate with the media. It's egregious how many times Doug Peterson has missed simple stuff. He's not trying to hide anything from you. You don't say Trevor Lawrence is going to practice and then you find out that he doesn't. You're not lying. I'm not calling him a liar. He doesn't know. How does your head coach not know? And it's one example after another. So let's work on it together, right? Usually you wait till January 1st to make an announcement that we're all going on a diet, right? Everyone's going on a diet January 1st. Why not do something a little bit more creative this year? Let's become better communicators in 2025. That's my proclamation. I'm going to be a better communicator in 2025. Give us your thoughts. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Dr. John Hunt, welcome to the family. Okay? He is a general ophthalmologist, and he has special interest in cosmetic eyelid surgery. He also certainly does perform cataract surgery along with Catherine Shmunez, Dr. Neil Shmunez. And combined now, we're talking way more than 30 years worth of experience between the three. Again, 2025 is right around the corner. It's just gotten dark in Jacksonville. Just ask yourself the most simple question of all. How are your eyes now compared to where they were when you woke up this morning? Fatigue, right? They're tired. We're all getting older. Your eyes are getting weaker. Make an appointment today. Get an examination. Find out where your eyes are. And you may be a candidate for laser eye surgery. Just imagine the rest of your life never having to worry about finding your readers, taking out your contacts. 2020 for the rest of your days. If it's more significant, okay? If it is a cataract situation, there may be a remedy that's not surgery related, okay? If so, again, tons of experience. And something else that I love about the good folks at Shmunez Vision, they are the ones who are performing surgery. They are also the ones who will sit down and talk to you and answer all of your questions. That is not always the case with other eye professionals. It certainly is at Shmunez Vision. All right, fired up for tonight. It's a Friday night in Duval. I am feeling an enormous amount of energy right now. I'm just feeling it on this Friday. I am. We got a ton to do. We're going to involve you as well. Again, the best way to join the show is our text line. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Let's take it down the field and win it.
It's a different kind of Sunday drive.
10th play of the drive here.
Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Here's the ball game.
On 1010 XL.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
Hey folks, Dave Binion with Zero Res. I asked my wife what she wants for Christmas, and she said the same thing she does every year. She wants a clean home full of family and friends. That means the carpets, the tile and grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on all need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call and get your carpets cleaned for only $49 a room, and get your tile and grout cleaned for 25% off. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Pre-Game Friday.
Built by Dream Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle on 1010XL.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the product, services, best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Christmas. 0% financing, available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway. And as always, tell them Prosser sent you.
I got the perfect holiday gift for you. At the Blue Crab House, you spend $50, you get a $65 gift card. $50 and you get $65. Bam, the pressure's off. Located right off of San Jose on Julington Creek Road, open every day until 9 except for Monday. Get rid of the stress of holiday shopping right now at the Blue Crab House. Spend $50 and get a $65 gift card only at the Blue Crab House.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Kylie Johnson, senior basketball and flag football player at Atlantic Coast High. Kylie is a member of the National Art Honor Society and is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Congratulations, Kylie.
At Harbor Freight, our low prices make us the place for gifts that keep on giving. Because when you give the gift of quality tools, you're giving someone the ability to fix, restore, and build for years to come. And with savings like these, you can even get something for yourself. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Stop by and give yourself the gift of great prices.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Opportunity is knocking this weekend in the sports betting world, and MyBookie has all the action you want to take. This Sunday, 1 p.m., the New York Jets come to town as 3.5-point favorites to beat your home team. Neither team is playing particularly well with a 40.5-point game total. Take the under in this one. At 4 o'clock, we have maybe the game of the year. The Bills at the Lions. The Lions are favored by 2.5 at home. The game total is a whopping 54.5. Everybody is going to want action on this game, so pay attention to the prop bets and play the over on the lines that you like for yardage and touchdowns. Sunday Night Football, the Packers travel to play the Seahawks. Give a strong look for the Packers to cover. The 2.5-point spread is underdogs. Sign up now at MyBookie and get a double deposit bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. Make yourself a winner this weekend with MyBookie, and don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Hi, this is Jeff Norman.
And I'm Mike Jones.
And we are the owners of Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
With the holiday season upon us, we want to take a moment to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and say thank you to our amazing customers.
We're so grateful for the trust you place in us each year. It's been a pleasure serving you, and we hope you have a wonderful holiday season with family and friends.
And remember, if you have any issues, we'll be here to help throughout the holidays and beyond.
Merry Christmas from all of us at Duck Duck Rooter.
Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses an AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start to the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you can be credit card debt-free. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS, consumeraccess.org.
Your business could already be hacked, and you wouldn't even know it. Most breaches go unnoticed for months, costing thousands in damages. Double-check cybersecurity detects threats before it's too late. Protect your business. Visit doublecheck.com today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Feels like the holidays are already here. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Hopefully it warms up a little bit.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees.
Those free kisses are gone, though. The mistletoe era is... it's all gone. You go for a kiss now, you will be canceled. You will be sent packing. I wonder if there's still horror stories. This guy gets wasted at the Christmas party, tries to kiss someone else, shows up Monday, his key doesn't work. I imagine there are. But anyway, just be careful out there. No question about it. We're going to play this for you in just 1 second with Doug Peterson. What? The 4042 says, Ballou, if Doug is terrible at communicating with the media, you know he's not communicating properly with the team. I don't think that Doug has been bad communicating with us. He just doesn't know what's going on. That's the part that is scary to me. I think that he has always been pretty transparent. He talks Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday after the game. But imagine if Bill Belichick came here and you asked Bill Belichick on a Wednesday about Evan Ingram. Bill Belichick would have looked at you and said, no comment at this point. We don't know. That's all you have to say. Where Peterson took it on and on and on and said, we expect him to play. He's almost, I don't want to say too transparent, but he is not always filled with the canned answers. He can be really expressive. There's just too many examples, however, of him saying something and then within an hour or two, the exact opposite. To the point where last year when it was Trevor Lawrence about not practicing, and then, he's told us before that he would be at least limited. He would be working on individual drills, didn't know necessarily about team drills. I am paraphrasing. And when it came out that he didn't work, people were like, Doug Peterson lied. Well, no, he didn't lie. You'd have to be really, really stupid to lie. Doug Peterson's not stupid. But you can make the case that Doug Peterson didn't know. And that's scary when you are the head coach. Well, let's go to what happened a little bit earlier today. Again, when the media got with Doug Peterson, they were all under the impression, even after a DMP Wednesday and Thursday, that Evan Ingram would be playing Sunday against the Jets.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna lose Evan for the year. He after more, like MRIs, results, testing, all that, he'll have a labrum to get fixed. So he'll have surgery and fix the shoulder and miss the rest of the year.
When did he have the MRIs?
Just this week. Yeah, after the game.
So did you find out yesterday, today, that he was going to be done for?
Yeah, it doesn't matter when I found out. It's just the fact that the decision's been made, so he's gonna have surgery.
It does matter when he found out, because unfortunately, it's another example of Doug Peterson not knowing what's going on with his football team. And In this case, more is better. More information he gives the media to give to you, the fans, it's better. But sometimes you got to know when to jam it up, especially if it is far less than certain that this guy's going to be able to give it a go. He's got a torn labrum. He didn't tear it this week. He tore it in the game. He didn't practice this week. So that is unfortunately something that is really taken on a life of its own here for Doug Peterson. But I don't want it to feel as though he doesn't communicate well with us. He does. He just takes it to a level that is not needed, especially if he's not 100% sure that that's the case. And this year he's done it with Ingram twice and Aloakon. And again, late last year he did it with Trevor, and he certainly did it at his season-ending press conference. I mean, that one to me is the most absurd of all. He sat there and looked at us and said, yeah, I need some time. I need to sleep on it. And then within a couple of hours, we heard that the defensive coaches were fired, which says Schott ordered it, Trent Baalke ordered it, someone ordered it. So it's a mess. No question about it. And, you live from Tom Coughlin, who would give you nothing, right? Is that better or is it worse? Again, and here's the part of it that is very intriguing. If this team was 10-3, these comments by Peterson would have disappeared. But when you're 3-10, you look at everything. And when you're 3-10, you're like, your head coach is lost here. He doesn't know what is going on. And that is a very unfortunate situation. 0976 says, Ballou, Peterson has demonstrated here that he's not a very savvy coach. How do you ever won a Super Bowl? Can't explain, except to cite the old expression, even a blind squirrel finds enough. He coached his ass off that day. Frank Reich, I absolutely had a lot to do with it. But he tried to win. And he had a great offensive line. He had a nasty defense that still allowed, 34 points? Wasn't that a 41-34 final when they beat the New England Patriots? He tried to win it. The Philly special and everything, I mean, you can't take away from what Doug Peterson did then. He was incredibly aggressive. And he tried to win that Super Bowl. And again, the worst part of it is it comes 2 weeks after the fact where Doug Marrone and Nate Hackett sat on a lead and tried to wish the clock away instead of trying to chop off the head of the snake of the best quarterback to ever play the game and arguably the best head coach to ever coach the game. 5706, Ballou, when things have changed, where a coach has to tell the media exactly what's going on, aren't all of them just there so they don't get fined? Yeah, there you go. Have a great... Hey, listen, some are better than others. Bobby Bowden told you everything. Bobby Bowden, if he said it once, he said it 1,000 times. He never thought anything that the media did could affect the outcome of a game. That's why he gave guys like me full access to his program. Watching during practice, talking to his players. Hell, I had him in the studio all the time. He did not think. Now, he's a rare exception. Do you think if I sat Tom Coughlin down right here, right now, and said what I just said there, that Tom Coughlin would look at me and he would, Tom Coughlin would order a drug test for me. He would. And boy, you talk about culture shock. I went from that with Bowden, who would just tell you everything, to Coughlin, who didn't want to say a word, especially about injuries. He didn't want anyone knowing. And, now we've seen things totally have been enhanced. Of course, when Coughlin was here, you still had an injury report. It was a different form of the injury report. But that's always been out there for betting resources. If you believe anything else, then let's just say you are sadly mistaken. All right, getting some good things in on this, on Doug Peterson. Let me come back. Lane Kiffin, I'll still get some of your email, your texts on this. Lane Kiffin was brilliant with what he said this week, and I haven't had an opportunity to get to it yet because we've been so busy. College football has made us, as fans, continuously accept things that we don't want. It's a take it or leave it perspective. And the latest now is the transfer portal. The transfer portal has been outstanding for my alma mater outside of this past year. So you would think that I would look at it favorably. And I'm also wise enough to know that if Florida State is going to bounce back, it is going to be because of the transfer portal immediately. And that begins with their quarterback that they announced yesterday, or actually it was on Wednesday, with Thomas Castellanos. But there's still a massive problem with this transfer portal. And it's one that I want to get into. I want to throw it out to you and then bring in the comments that Lane Kiffin said, which are absolutely spectacular. And he's 100% right. But here we are, and we can't do anything about it. That's coming up next. Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gates store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy. And do it today.
Homemade cookies baked fresh by Jen. Original 80s band named Ice Creams by Ray. Build your own cookie ice cream sandwiches from scratch. Cookies and Cream Jack's Beach. Open till 11 Friday and Saturday, 10 weekdays. Making our beach a better place. Cookies and Cream Jack's Beach.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 13, 2015, Alabama running back Derrick Henry wins the 81st Heisman Trophy after rushing for nearly 2,000 yards that season.
Googa Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. There's nothing like the ambiance of a custom-built fireplace. The team at CSS can design and install the perfect setup, including wood, gas, and electric models, whether you want the elegance of an indoor fireplace or the warmth of an outdoor fire pit. You dream it, they build it. Visit their showroom or online at cssfireplaces.com.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and thank you to all the members and contractors for their continued support and partnership. Together, they've helped build a stronger foundation for Jacksonville since 1901. Enjoy spending time with your friends and families this holiday season. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Local 234, make the right connection. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Best Bet is number one. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop. Here to let you know we're doing 20% off the entire store, now through Christmas. So unleash your gift-giving spirit, let your passion transmit. Do what we do and take it to the limit. Visit GothamCityLimit.com for more information.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
This afternoon, the team announced that tight end Evan Ingram will miss the remainder of the season to undergo a torn labrum surgery. While it's a bummer situation for Ingram, Brenton Strange has another chance to step up big for the Jags. Strange played the tight end 1 spot when Ingram missed the first few weeks with a hamstring early on and has 23 catches for 256 yards and 2 touchdowns on the year. Here's Peterson on his excitement for Strange and the other tight ends to step up.
Yeah, we've been pleased with Brenton, excited about Brenton, really. He's done a nice job for us, and this will be a great opportunity for him to really showcase himself a little bit in our offense. Another opportunity for Luke as well, I think, to get more of an opportunity in these last 4 games, so expect both those guys, and Josiah too. I mean, this will be good for him.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tell you what, I hope Sauce Gardner, I hope he covers Brian Thomas Jr. I hope he stays on him, shadows him. That would be worth the price of entertainment right there, the price of admission. A true number one in Thomas Jr. Maybe get to him early. Maybe not wait until midway through the third quarter until you throw the football at Brian Thomas Jr. Mac Jones has done some good things late. The 2 touchdown drives late in the fourth quarter 2 weeks ago. Then last week, the field goal and the touchdown drive late against New York. This is weird for me because to a lot of you, it's like, how dare Ballou actually diagram a plan where they could win? Now you're in a situation where you want them to lose. That's the majority of you. I still think it's going to be brutal on you. If you're at the game hoping they lose, that's hard on a fan. And you've been through that before when you were talking. You were able to do it understandably in the Trevor Lawrence year, right? I mean, that made total sense. The next year with Trayvon Walker, maybe. You know, you still subscribe to the feeling that this was a rebuilding process with a quarterback that was playing in his rookie year. Not this year, not with the expectations that you had, but that's where you are, and it's twofold because it's move up in the draft. I mean, you went from 1 to 5 with a win last week. You win these games, you win 2 of them or 3 of them. Dare I say 4 of them? I mean, the latest ESPN mock draft had you at 8. You win all these games, you could end up drafting 10, 11, 12. And the other part of it is for those who want this thing blown up. Well, you win more games, that's only going to help Trent Baalke. A lot of people, myself included, believe Baalke's not going anywhere. Let me throw this to you. Lane Kiffin made a really good point to it. Just a quick moment on college football because it's so bad right now. I look at the Gator Bowl. Duke's coming in here to play Mississippi. Duke's quarterback announced that he is out and not going to play. He has entered the transfer portal. Duke has a chance to win 10 games this year. This is a January 2nd bowl game for Duke and the first year for Manny Diaz. What a sensational season. And it's up and it's gone because this quarterback's going to get paid a lot of money and he's going to go elsewhere. Florida plays Tulane a week from today. Tulane's quarterback had a very good year. He's not playing against the Gators. He announced today that he will be transferring to play his football next year at Duke. So Lane Kiffin says this is so dumb. Lane Kiffin goes on to make the best point about this that I have heard to date. And let me share it with you. Lane says, and I quote, "Just think if the NFL was getting ready for the AFC and NFC playoffs, their postseason, and free agency had already begun in the NFL. It's a really poor system. We just try to manage the best we can to get through it, and hopefully someday it'll get fixed." It's an outstanding point. And whenever someone says we need to change the date with the transfer portal, the immediate stop to the conversation is this. You can't because classes start in very early January. There has to be another way. There has to be another system. The bowl games have already been mightily diminished. Quick, ask yourself, besides the national championship game last year or the college football 14 playoff, unless it was your alma mater or unless you're a degenerate gambler, can you remember one bowl game from last year? One bowl game that meant anything? Okay, I don't even remember who played in the Gator Bowl. It's right here. I don't even know who played in it last year. They're no longer important. They're only there for the alumni, especially those who are snowbirds, and they're leaving the East Coast or the Midwest, and they get an opportunity to come to the state of Florida to hopefully get some warm weather. Or, again, if you're a gambler, that's it. But if you want to make it more relevant, find a way to make exceptions for these transfer kids. Do they miss the first week of school? Maybe. I don't know. There has to be a better way. And, yeah, I'll be Deion Sanders said his kids are going to play at Colorado. He pointed out Florida State and, the way they handled it a year ago after the snub. I'll be interested to see who plays for the Florida Gators. I mean, Florida's going to blow away Tulane. Their best player they were already, a 9, 10, 11-point favorite. Now Tulane's best player says he's out.
I think their best defensive player's out as well.
Yeah. Okay. What's going to happen with the U in the Pop-Tart Bowl? I mean, if
they're playing allegedly, like Cam and everybody, but I was shocked that they are. Well, his is different. His is NFL draft. But, yeah, there's plenty of guys that are hitting the portal. Chris Johnson Jr., running back, he's gone. Yeah, it's a terrible system. By the way, Clemson beat Kentucky last year in the Gator Bowl. Everyone remembers that game.
For $10,000, I couldn't have come up with that. And I'm not trying to diminish. I have a lot of friends on the Gator Bowl committee. I'm not trying to poo-poo these bowls, but they're not relevant anymore.
Gator Bowl hates it too. I mean, they hate it worse than everybody else. Do you remember that commercial on ESPN that came out every December that was like, this is the best time of the year song with all the bowl games? And it was just like, this is fun. It used to be really exciting.
It used to be great.
Starting the 20th of this month, usually you'd have amazing 2 weeks of games that everybody loved watching. But now it's just like a total afterthought.
You know what it's comparable to? The final week of preseason NFL games. You just don't know. It's almost like take the other team because the name team has so many players who are not playing.
You don't know who's going to play. Exactly.
If you're a first-round draft pick, why would you play in one of these bowl games? But anyway, that's another part of what is wrong right now. College football has so many holes. The transfer portal, you have what, 43 bowl games? Is that what we have now? That means 86. It's even more than that because we have the 12-team college football playoff. I mean, you have to be really, 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 really bad not to go to a bowl game. Okay? And the transfer portal is going crazy right now. Can't they find a way to push it back a couple of weeks, still with the understanding that you are going to be late for your classes if they begin in very early January? We're talking about some exceptions. It could be as many as 10, 12, 15 per class. You're going to have to play catch-up. You're provided tutors. You're provided guidance. There's also a way to get you that information a lot faster nowadays, right? Computer-wise or whatever it may be, once you decide where the school is. Wouldn't it be better? And here's the other problem. College football is here for like a 4-month period, and then it is obsolete for 8 months, where the NFL keeps you fully engrossed with their sport every single week of every single month. Pro football is genius. They know exactly how to drop everything on you. So NFL fans never go too far. College football disappears. I would have kept the February signing day. Okay? Forget about the early enroll. No. College football was healthy when you signed on the first Wednesday. These kids played out their senior year. They went to the senior prom. They're 17, 18 years of age. Let them graduate in May and June and check in then. You want to check in during the summer session? Fine. Well, so no. We got to have early. Why would you want to give up your last semester of high school? Don't these kids play baseball? Don't these kids play lacrosse? Don't they want to be around? And I know I can't even imagine what it's like now because they're getting paid, but we're real new on the getting paid. We're not real new on the early enrollment. I've never liked early enrollment. Take me back to that signing day, first Wednesday of February. I loved it. Also, if you had a transfer portal, if you had a small window with that, it would give college football just a little bit more juice. Instead, now it's falling into what? The Heisman Trophy tomorrow night. College football awards were given out last night. Army-Navy this week. College football playoff next week. If all of a sudden someone switches and it's the day before 4 college football playoff games, it's not going to pick up the steam that it would during a slow period of time. There's not a lot of thought that's been put into this to keep college football relevant. And I'm not talking about on campus where it always is. I'm talking about major cities. It gets buried. It does. It doesn't garner enough attention. And it could with a commissioner, with a czar, with someone who could just sit there and say, we need to make some changes. So I do understand, or I understand the enrollment in January. But I think when you're treated differently anyway, when you come in on a scholarship and you can make exceptions here. You can bend things a little bit. Maybe you missed the first week of class. Maybe you missed 10 days. I don't know. You're going to have to play some catch-up academically. There's really no other way. It's better than the world that we're living in right now. I think so. It hurts the bowls. It hurts everything else.
Yeah, sorry if you decide to leave the school that you promised to go to, and then you have to catch up a little bit at your new school. Like, what am I supposed to feel sorry for that guy? Like, these dudes go to like 3 or 4 different schools in 3 years. And like, I would love to know how many of these, especially at these high level schools, like what's the school situation actually? You know, like when are you going to class? I would love to, I have no idea, but I'm assuming these guys, school is like such an afterthought to the majority of these guys. Like, why are we still pretending so much? It's a joke.
Some take it very seriously.
Of course.
Others not at all. Yeah, I remember, what's the name of that building that had about 1,300, I think it held about 1,300 students. Oceanography, meteorology, and the thing was that Dion would go walk in the front door out the back door, right? And yeah, I went to school the same years as Dion did. I don't know if it was true or not. I can name 2 basketball players and 1 former NFL player who cheated off of me, all 3 of them. And I gladly provided answers. I mean,
of course.
The statute of limitations is long gone, okay? But I'm not going to bury him. One of the hoop guys ended up making it into the NBA for more than a cup of coffee. The other did not. The NFL guy did, man. He had a nice career as a defensive lineman. But, academics is one thing.
Yeah, but if school and academics are so important to you, you're probably not transferring schools.
They're not important to these kids. They almost never are. You said it.
And I don't blame them. Like, they're not going. Who was the Ohio State quarterback that was like, they didn't bring me here to play school? And, like, everybody laughed about it, and we're like, wow, how stupid are you to say something like that?
The third stringer came off the bench and won the Natty?
But I was like, dude, I agree with that 100,000%. Like, that's what the majority of these guys probably feel like. And because, listen, do you know how freaking hard it is to get into UF as, like, a regular student? Like, it's almost impossible for a regular, like, Jacksonville kid to get into UF. But, like, if you're great at football, it doesn't matter what your GPA is or your grades, you're going to UF. Like, so, yeah, they're not there to play school. Let's stop.
I know from my daughter as well, okay, these classes are all online.
That was another one of my points. Like, are you physically even having to go to the class?
Well, I'm just saying, if you push back the date of the transfer portal and you miss a little bit of time, I'm talking about catch up on your academics. It's pretty easy to catch up when you can just send you the stuff online. So if you miss a week or 2 weeks, yeah, you're behind the 8 ball. But it's not like the days when I went to college where you had to walk to class and walk to the library.
Take notes.
Okay, absolutely. You had to go to every class. If not, you were lost. And, it's not like you could study in the dorm room, or it's not like you could study in an apartment. You had to pack up and head to the Westcott building, or, go to the library. So it's so much easier for these kids now. They can just pick up their phone and they have it all right there. All right, you're going to go to this school. Well, you've missed the first 2 weeks of classes. You're scheduled to take what? 12 hours this semester or 15 hours this semester. You got people who are paid to make sure that you get everything that you need from these teachers. And I'm sure when you're an athlete, because I know what it was like when I covered these kids, they have tutors. They have people that are there to provide them. They don't take the tests for them, but they help them out when they need it. So I don't buy into the fact that you can't transfer because of that rule. You can make changes. And again, you're not making changes for thousands out of school. You're making changes for maybe 6, maybe 8, okay, maybe 10 kids, maybe 12. And I get it. It's not only football. It may be happening in some other sports, other times of the year. But you're the one who's deciding to get up and leave where you're at because you're unhappy, you want to go somewhere else. Well, maybe the transition isn't as smooth as you thought it would be. I mean, think about it when you move from point A to point B. There's always problems when you pack up and you go from one part of the country to the other.
Or from one job to another.
Yes. There's going to be some stress involved. So college football needs to get with it. Stop ruining this type of stuff.
And it's not just the bowl games. Arizona State's head coach, a team in the freaking playoff, was like, hey, yeah, I've already talked to all my guys, and there's some that want to stick around for the good of the team, but I told them, no, it's probably better for you to go early. It's like the fact that that guy has to deal with this 2 weeks from like the biggest game of his life is insane.
Kenny Dillingham said that, but I kind of read between the lines there. Maybe he was saying, you suck. If you want to leave, go ahead.
Here. Yeah. But he's also saying, like, hey, if these guys stay and wait on our season to be done, maybe they won't have a landing spot. So he wants the guys who knows, I guess they're not going to play in the playoff to jump in the portal now. My point is they shouldn't have to be dealing with that as coaches. Like, that's crazy that we're seeing, Georgia players and players from teams in the playoff jumping in the portal right now. It's insane.
If you guys have an idea on this, gals have an idea on this, let us know. 641-1010. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect in college football.
No.
But when I go to read the top 10 stories, I want to hear about the Heisman. I want to hear about Army-Navy. I want to hear about the big playoff games that are coming up. There's also a ton of bowl games. Give us the bowl games. Give us the stories. Instead, it's opt-out, transfer portal. And if you delayed it, you could at least eliminate that part of it. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. It's great to have you with us. He's JJ. I'm Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
Uncover what you might have missed.
He's quick. He's got great hands. He finds the gaps.
Dandy Foods Post-Game Monday.
And most importantly, he moves the chains.
Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day. Post-Game Monday. Brought to you by Dandy Foods on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Hey folks, Dave Binion here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Imagine a place where it's always sunny, drinks are ice cold, and the food's bursting with flavor. Welcome to Hurricane Grill and Wings. Today's forecast: crispy wings, frothy beers, big burgers, and seafood tacos. Find your nearest spot at hurricanewings.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Now, the Florida State Seminole Report, brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team.
Florida State quarterback Luke Kromenhawk will enter the NCAA's transfer portal. Kromenhawk, a true freshman, has started the last 2 games for Florida State during its nightmare 2-10 season. This season, he went 44 for 84, throwing for 502 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, as well as adding 113 yards on the ground. I'm RJ Saunders with your Ag Pro Seminole Report.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Truck drivers. Without them, our economy would stop. They're constantly racing against time, struggling against exhaustion, and being put under enormous pressure from their bosses, the big trucking companies. This can be a major reason for an accident. Discovering who's at fault can be difficult. We can help. Put our big truck experience to work for you. Call Farah & Farah, Jacksonville.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab, and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score a free medium 2-topping Domino's pizza with minimum purchase, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more all season long. Order Uber Eats now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Let's give the very latest. According to BetMGM, the Jaguars now 3.5-point home underdogs. So that went from 3 to 3.5. It's been New York money. As a matter of fact, 60% of the money on New York, 40% on Jacksonville. I should say 60% of the bets are on the Jets. 40% of the bets are on Jacksonville at the 3.5-point spread. 85% of the money is on the Jets at minus 3.5. 15% of the money is on Jacksonville. Boy, did you and we would have been big winners last week by playing the under. I know we talked about it again. The total, 40.5. Okay, 63% of the money they've listed this week on the under. 38% of the money on the total over.
And remember, we were talking about how most people claim that it's more entertaining to watch after you've bet an over instead of bet an under. And we were like, nah, it's pretty fun just watching that clock.
I love watching the clock.
Literally on the first drive, that was all it was. There was zero, like the Titans, I think it was never an incompletion. They ran the ball most of the time, and when they did throw it, it was completed. And it was like, man, I believe that the game went by so fast that the 2-minute warning, or 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter was it was before 3:30 p.m. So that was like the easiest under of all time if you bet that one.
And then you had some flags in the third quarter. But yeah, it was a very fast-moving game. I think when they flipped over, I had it on the on another television set anyway. But I think when they flipped over the Jets-Dolphins game, there was like 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. Yeah,
I mean, that was nuts.
An entire quarter.
If I see some on here that I think can really add to the conversation we just had, I'll share it with you. This one is very interesting from the 7083. It says, Ballou, at FSCJ, we offer a 12-week accelerated semester that starts in week 4 of the semester to capture late enrolling students. It absolutely can be done at universities. So, again, I didn't even check on any of this type of stuff. I was just thinking out loud because there's been a couple of other times recently in the month of December where I have said they need to change the date of the transfer portal, and people have responded by saying, well, you can't because of early enrollment. All right. Now we know that there are other ways. There's always going to be other ways. These are specially treated students. They bring millions into the school. They're being paid money themselves. He or she is not your average student.
Do you remember?
They're treated differently.
And they should be treated differently, in my opinion. Do you remember in my day, it was you played 11 regular season games, and that was it. And the reason that they didn't play more was because of school and classes. Well, that changed. And now these teams are playing 15, and then they're like, well, we can't have a 12-team playoff because of classes. Well, at first it was we can't have a 14 playoff because of classes, and then it was we can't have a 12-team. Now, we're getting all of that. So miraculously, when money talks, the class argument sort of goes away, I've noticed, over the last 25 to 30 years. So I think this... I don't know how we'll get it changed, but we desperately need, like you always say, like a czar of college football, because this is one of the many, many, many simple problems that could be switched and changed and make the sport so much better.
I worry about the health of the game.
Same.
I do. And listen, I have never not told you the truth. I also would think... I'm smart enough to never bite the hand that feeds me. But I'll admit it right now. I'll come out and say it. I am nowhere near the college basketball fan today that I was years ago. The sport is ruined, in my opinion, for several reasons, which I don't need to get into now. Okay, you should be aware of those reasons. But the sport itself is not nearly as good as it used to be. When I cut my teeth, well, first off, I'm from Boston. I love the Big East. Georgetown, Syracuse, Madison Square. I loved it. Tim Brandon was on last night. We were talking about Billy Donovan making it to the Final Four, point guard at Providence, playing under Rick Pitino, head coach at Providence. I mean, I loved it. I'm a hockey guy, but I loved college hoops. When I cut my teeth in the media, man, and Rasheed Wallace and Jerry Stackhouse would come in as juniors, and Tim Duncan came in as a senior. Joe Smith, the top pick, came in as a senior at Maryland. I watched my neighbor, Christian Laettner, and everyone's favorite New Jersey gym rat, Bobby Hurley, and Thomas Hill and Grant. They all came in. They were all juniors and seniors. It was a better game. Okay? College football has so many things that are going against them right now. I'm starting to wonder. I mean, look at this year's national championship. If you were to honestly look at the last 25 years of college football, we don't even know who's going to win it yet. You can make a case for probably 7, maybe 8 of these 12 teams. Even if Oregon runs the table, are you going to put that Oregon team even if they go 15-0 up against last year's Michigan team or against any of these other teams, think of the Florida teams that have won it, the Florida State teams that have won it, the Miami teams that have won it, the LSU team that won it, the USC teams that won it, the Texas teams that won it, all those Alabama teams, Georgia. Think of all of these recent national championship teams. And you point to any one of these schools right now and say that they could beat one? No way. It's diminished because they're not with each other. Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. They're leaving all the time. And that's the best part of knowing what your school is going to be, is watching kids develop. Freshman, the sophomore, the junior. And then your only fear is, is he going to go pro after his junior? Remember when that was the only concern that you had? Oh, I hope he doesn't go pro. Now it's like, so, again, I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me. I like to eat. But it's not the same. It's not. And how can you have, as a fan, anything outside of the school? How can you really be a huge fan of a player? Maybe you will with DJ Lagway. Maybe he gives you 3 years. Maybe he gives you a championship. Okay? Maybe he ends up being the rare exception. But how many other kids,
That's why I love Restrepo so much.
There you go. There's a 4-year guy.
Like, I love him way more than Cam Ward, and Cam Ward's like a Heisman candidate. But Restrepo's been there since he was a kid. Like, literally a freshman, spent his whole time there, loves the U, like a fan. And you feel something, but I used to feel that towards the whole roster, back in the day, the seniors. But now it's just like you can count on one hand the kids that stay out of school forever.
I find myself still looking at Jalen and Derwin James and Brian Burns and guys like that. I can't get engrossed with how Keon Coleman is doing, how Johnny Wilson is doing, how Trey Benson is doing. It was too quick. It was a one-night stand. You know what I'm saying?
You're not staying up at night thinking about her.
It was a one-night stand. That's what it was. It was fun. Okay? It was exciting.
You both got out what you wanted from it.
Right. But it was in and out and gone. That's it. That's what they were. You can't. It's different from the recruiting process and bringing him in and getting him on signing day and then watch him evolve, watch him develop. I feel terrible for football. I really do. I feel awful for college football. Now, I know none of this is resonating with Gator fans because Gator fans right now, you're on a high. Okay? You want your coach fired. He knocked off Mississippi, knocked off LSU, knocked off Florida State. You're going to pound Tulane. You won 4 in a row. You flipped recruits. You had a good nothing is going to resonate right now with Gator fans. I get it. But there will be a time when it will. Right now, Florida State is absolutely dealing with that. Miami's going to deal with this when Cam Ward leaves.
Gators are dealing with the Zach Pyburn situation, which is like they expected that guy to be like Mr. Gator, like spend all the time there, be the last guy announced on senior day. And all of a sudden, he's...
Well, his demands are stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe about any of it. I haven't even been following it, to be honest with you. But that's just like a perfect example of a guy who you totally expected to be there next year, and he's not. Whether it be money, playing time, crazy demands, whatever it is, pushed out. Just an example of like, even at a school like Florida, which is, one of the hypest fan bases right now going into next season, you're still going to have some stuff like this.
I spoke with someone who's tight with the family. His is playing time, not money. Even though he asked for $45 large a month, it's more of being on the field on third downs. I mean, how can any coach guarantee that you're going to Can you imagine being in game and it's like a huge situation? It's like, yeah, I want to take him out, but I guaranteed I have it in writing that he's got to play on third down.
I told him in December last year that he's going to have to play so many third downs. Yeah, I don't even know how you.
But I'm told it's not money. Oh, look at this. 2887. Listening in Northbrook, Illinois. That is where I worked for 7 years. When I went to Illinois after the AFC Championship game, I lived right down the road in Wheeling in the Buffalo Grove area. And I remember Milwaukee Street. I used to meet my buddy Jay Mariotti out there quite a bit. But that was one-on-one sports, Sporting News Radio. Good old days there. Was it off of Techney? Was that the road in I should remember. I went there for 7 years. Tell you what, I don't miss getting out of there tonight because I did 9 to 1 local, 10 to 2 back here when I was doing national radio. Let me tell you something, man.
It's 26 degrees.
Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal in Northbrook. And Joe Chevalier was on before me for years. He used to pay they used to line up. They used to like, it was like going for a rebound to see who could be the guy who would run out and start his car because Papa Joe paid him $5 a night to go out and start his car.
To get it warmed up.
So both DiGiacomo's, Tony DiGiacomo, Joey DiGiacomo, Dominic Giacchiro, my three producers, they be elbowing each other trying to get that 5 ski.
$5 would get you an entree back then.
Yeah.
Okay, so high of 27, low of 24 today. Tomorrow, though, it's going to get a lot warmer. Unfortunately, it'll be raining / snowing, but a high of 37.
What a great town, though, Northbrook, Illinois. God, that was fun. That was a fun experience.
Next Friday, low of 15 degrees, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Can't relate.
Wow. Yeah, I'm such a sissy because I get chilly here now.
Yeah, I'm like bundled up for today, and it was like in the 60s.
Well, my GF's like, what are you doing? Because I'm wearing flip-flops and shorts. I'm like, listen. I'm like, this show, again, it's my go-to, but it's true. Like, this show is so damn boring that I have to stay cold. If not, I'll just kind of lay back and fall asleep. What would happen if I actually fell asleep on air? I mean,
I'd love to find out.
That would be scary for our listeners. So this way I'll stay cold. At least I'm with it, at least somewhat. So that's the way we go about it. All right, we got much more to do. Getting a lot of good stuff coming in. Northbrook, Illinois, a Jag fan, he says. He's a Jaguar fan living in Northbrook, Illinois. It's a great town, man, but I feel for you weather-wise, no doubt about it.
Sometimes it's a stunning performance.
3 touchdowns tonight.
Sometimes it's the guy who gets the job done.
He doesn't take a play off.
Listen from a Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
He is a difference maker now.
On 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Need a last-minute gift? What's more Duval than a Moss Fire Grill holiday gift card? Right now, you can buy a $100 gift card and get a $25 gift card for free, only at Moss Fire Grill.
See you on the rooftop.
Bold City Brewery, established in 2008, is the oldest craft brewery in Jacksonville and proud to celebrate 16 years of brewing greatness in Duval. 2 locations serving delicious beers, seltzers, ciders, all produced in-house. Check out Bold City downtown on Bay Street or hit the production house and restaurant on Roselle Street in Riverside. Bold City Brewery, with something for everyone, brewing great beers and serving fantastic food to all of Duval. Log on and be bold. BoldCityBrewery.com.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Picking here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 13, 2015, Alabama running back Derrick Henry wins the 81st Heisman Trophy after rushing for nearly 2,000 yards that season.
For 79 years, each Gator Bowl game wrote a chapter in a story filled with excitement, celebrity, and a touch of drama. The game has seen iconic coaches like Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, and of course, Bobby Bowden. Football stars like Larry Zonka, Archie and Peyton Manning, and Michael Vick. The 80th chapter features Duke and number 14 Ole Miss. Thursday, January 2nd in primetime on Bill Gay Grounds at Everbank Stadium. Tickets on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me, and I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Kuhn Flowers invites you to join their Spread the Joy gift drive, supporting families here in Florida impacted by the recent hurricanes. They're accepting new and unwrapped toys, gifts, or monetary donations. Visit KuhnFlowers.com to find out more.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Just sort of Walker Little commercial. He's played really well since he has replaced Cam Robinson. Of course, he got the big deal. Trent Baalke making that move. I know that created some resistance in town because people are like, what the hell's Baalke? He's a lame duck, right? What's he doing making moves? Well, he's not a lame duck. I think there's a real good chance, I've been saying it forever, that he's going to be around for the 2025 season. The Garrett Bowles situation yesterday really spoke volumes, though, about the importance. He was to be the highest regarded left tackle via free agency. Now, there still could be a left tackle here and there who was released because of salary cap reasons or what have you. But if you look at it that way, this is a very good move by Bulkey to get Walker Little. He's going to be tested on Sunday with Will McDonald IV. This is going to be not getting the attention of, let's say, Brian Thomas Jr., Sauce Gardner. But this is going to be a big-time challenge because Walker Little now is responsible for protecting Trevor Lawrence's blind side over the next 3 years. And I'm getting so many draft questions. It's never too early for the draft. I almost hate to say it that way, but it's true. And to me, it's twofold. Okay? Here's what I love about Jacksonville. They have a ton of money, and they're going to have solid draft capital. There's almost a part of me that wants them to fall in this draft so they can get a guard, so they can get a tackle and make them a guard, because I can already feel it. You're going to be yelling about a corner. You're going to be yelling about an interior defensive lineman. And I'm here to say no. 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 You can't fix it all. You can't. You can't be perfect. No one is. This team has to learn from its previous mistakes. They need to become an offensive football team. What is it? 3 of their last 4 games, they've scored less than 15 points. Right? I mean, they've been scoreless in the first quarter 8 times this year. They averaged 2.3 points a game in the first quarter. You know and I know they're not going to score on Sunday in the first 15 minutes. They're going to put together their 19th consecutive game, which they did not score a touchdown on their opening drive. It has to get fixed. You need better personnel. You need 2 things. You need interior offensive linemen, and you need a wide receiver. Now, let's say you need 2 of those. I'd like 3. I think this is the final year for Ezra Cleveland and Mitch Morris. 2025 being the final year, not 2024. 2025. Final year for Ezra, final year for Mitch Morris. As a matter of fact, I think if you could get that much better at center, if you could draft the center in the 2nd or 3rd round or something like that, maybe he earns his way in. Morris is cap friendly, so no hurry. I think you can keep him around another year. Right guard is wide open. You going to Cooper Hodges me again all offseason? You guys going to waste my airtime and tell me, oh, you love Cooper? Cooper Hodges is a nice story. He's a local kid. Can't play. He's been hurt his entire career. Right? Spent last year on the shelf, came in, played this year, got hurt again. Hate it for him, but those are facts. Injured players doesn't do you any good. You need a right guard. You need a center. You need a number 2 wide receiver. Gabe Davis is going to be forced down your throat. He can't play. He's never caught more than 48 balls. He caught 20 this year. He's overfed, and he's not consistent. He's going to take reps. He's going to be there because it's a bad contract. It's a contract in which you can get out of in year 3. You can't get out of it next year. You still have to address wide receiver. Do you do that with a veteran? Do you do that in the draft? Okay? Do you understand where my focus is? You have 2 backs. You have 2 wide receivers. You have 2 tight ends. You have bookend tackles. You have a center. You have a left guard, I want to believe, for 1 more year. You need a right guard, and you need a number 2 wide receiver. In my opinion, that is priority number 1 and 2. I can hear it. I can feel it. I can sense it. You're going to tell me you need a corner, a shutdown corner, opposite Tyson Campbell. And I get it. I get it. But you can't fix it all at once. I would rather fix your offense. You've invested in your offense, and you're coming into year 5 with Trevor Lawrence. I don't want any yeah buts. I want that thing put together the best possible way that it can. And you know what? If you go out and you play on Sunday and you lose and the score is 33-30, then, you lick your wounds. I get it. It's tough. It's tough to lose a ball game like that. But isn't that better than losing 12-7? Or isn't that better than winning 10-6? I mean, it's terrible to watch. So that's going to be what I'm hollering about this entire offseason, and we still have 4 games remaining. It's not showing up. And it's not showing up because of a variety of things. Number one, you've got a really poor coaching staff offensively. And number two, you're not getting production. You're not able to run the football the way you were supposed to. Right? I mean, Tank's kind of come back down to life after the injury. He got it 18 times the other day, but I mean, his average per carry was among league leaders going back a month ago. That has dipped. It has not been a great year for Travis Etienne. Not getting the carries. I mean, this guy was north of 1,400 yards in consecutive years at, total yards from the line of scrimmage. That has dropped off way too much, but he hasn't been 100%. And he'll play the last year of his deal. Let me find that for you. Just to what he's going to play under. There's no value for running backs. There's just not anymore. They're used and abused. He will play next year for $6,143,000. That's his cap number. That's his guaranteed money. I'm fine with that. Year 5 for ETN. That's an affordable number. Hopefully it's a better year for him. Okay, he only got 4 carries the other night. He did have some receptions. But I like what they have at running back. I do. I think they're going to be fine there. They got to get better in the interior offensive line. We had the data guy on last night, Daniel Griffiths, talking about how they've done a nice job in pass protection this year. They have not done well running the football. In consecutive years here at Jacksonville, they were league leaders a year ago, and they're up there again this year when it talks about getting hit at the line of scrimmage or prior to the line of scrimmage. Also, running backs who are among league leaders in yards after contact. Travis Etienne led the NFL with that a year ago. Look at Tank Bigsby's splits. Look at his yards after being hit. Not like there's a lot of daylight there. So anyway, I just want to kind of give you fair warning on this. I believe I may have mentioned it before that, and listen, I respect everyone that I work with and everyone who covers this team. And everyone's going to have their own opinion. And I can feel it right now. If you were to list priorities, give me 3 priorities that the Jaguars have to put together right now, I think most out there would say you need a corner opposite Tyson Campbell. You feel like you have your nickel now in Jarian Jones. I saw the latest mock draft ESPN this week. It's Will Johnson, corner out of Michigan. Okay, if you want to get Will Johnson with the 8th pick, fine. I hope in free agency you overspend for a right guard. I hope in free agency you overspend for a number 2 wide receiver unless you are convinced you can get that number 2 wide receiver in the 2nd round. Understand where I'm going? JJ, you have a thought on that? I'm all offense this year. Forget about defense. Beat them with points.
I would just take the best available just because your team is so trash. Like, there's like 4 guys that are worth anything. Like, no, you just got to – you're not going to win the Super Bowl next year. You're probably not going to get to the playoffs. So just take whoever's the best available at any position.
4.
Like,
rank the best 4. Who are the best 4 players on this team?
Who are the best? I was just going to say the ones you got to keep around because you're paying them. The best, I guess, is it Trevor Lawrence?
I'm going to say their best player is Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
I'm going to say their second best player is Logan Cook. I'm dead serious right now.
What about, do you think they'll bring Evan? Have we seen Evan Ingram's last game as a Jaguar? I think we have.
You know what? Let's take our final break of the night. Let's come back and look at his future contract. And also, I know it's late in the program, so we haven't really had an opportunity to go over this, but just real quick for what it's worth, we'll do this another night when we have more time. But tell us your best five. Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen, Tyson Campbell, Ventrell Miller. Who is it? Who are the best five players right now on this Jaguars football team?
This crowd is electric. The difference between stepping up and stepping aside can be as simple as being stepped on. And he is slow to get up. Listen for the personal injury attorney's Farah and Farah Injury Update on 1010XL.
Jacksonville. Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? StoneCore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit StoneCore today and let's beautify your home together. StoneCore.co. We do outdoors better.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Every December, pride and honor collide on the gridiron.
Football's greatest classic, the Army-Navy game.
Army-Navy. 1010XL's Army-Navy focus is anchored by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This holiday season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. With the purchase of a $75 gift card or more, guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes the perfect gift. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
This holiday season, give the gift of comfort and joy. Comfort food and the joy that comes with digging into a huge plate of diner favorites from Metro Diner. And to make things even more merry, now through the end of the year, they're adding on a $10 bonus card with every $50 spent on gift cards. Metro Diner gift cards are the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Friends, family, or coworkers. Stop by the diner or metrodiner.com and get all your gift shopping done easily. Happy holidays from Metro Diner.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Deck the halls with pipes a-leaking, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la. Oh no! Don't let plumbing ruin your season, fa-la-la-la-la-la-la. Let's go!
Uh-oh. Got a clog or a leak messing with your holiday cheer? Call Duck Duck Rooter. We're the reindeer of repairs. Fast, reliable, and ready to slay your plumbing problems.
Fa-la-la-la-la-la-la, hooray!
904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. We're flushing your worries away this holiday season.
We heard you loud and clear, Jags fans, and we're taking it back to the 90s again. The Prowler throwback jerseys return to the field Sunday, December 15th, when your Jaguars take on the New York Jets. Be at the bank to see them in action while joining us for our Inspire Change game. So lock in your seats. Head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Nick in here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. And Greg, when you start to shift from warmer weather into some cooler weather, you can get on the road. What has Honda got to offer?
Honda's got a bunch of great bikes. They've got the new e-clutch technology, which means you can ride without using your clutch.
And I love the fact you can go automatic on a bike, which was unheard of for a while.
It was for a long time, and Honda has mastered it.
You can log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, see all they have to offer, or drop by the showroom. They're on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Our most popular meat combo is ready to grill this season. Pounds and pounds of marinated steak tips and chicken, fresh ground beef, and homemade sausage. Just ask for the sampler combo.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Evan Ingram placed on the season-ending injured reserve torn labrum for Evan Ingram. He is 30 years of age. He'll be 31 in September. And that'll be an interesting decision for Trent Baalke whether or not to keep him around for another year. I do believe he is a really good candidate for a restructure. Now, age is a concern. Injuries are a concern. The way that his 2025 contract does read, okay, he's got a cap figure of $19,750,000. That's a lot of money for a tight end, okay? He caught 114 balls a year ago, but obviously he's dealt with injuries this year. If you were to flat out cut him, you would have to eat $13,500,000 in dead money. You would recoup to the salary cap $6,250,000, which you could spend. Here's where it gets interesting. And I said this last year about Zay Jones, that they could have saved a lot of money by doing it post June 1st. And there's some circles where you can actually make a transaction that is post June 1st before it is June 1st. If that makes any sense to you. It doesn't to me. But this is what would happen if you waited post June 1st. You'd only have to eat $4 million. That would be your dead money. You'd be able to recoup $15,750,000. There would be dead money as well, an additional $4 million for the 2026 season. This is according to overthecap.com. It's not a perfect science. You can read overthecap.com. You can read Spot Track. My guess is that Walshy and Baalke, they have different books. They have different numbers. But you would believe that they are somewhere in the same vicinity. So we'll have to see what happens. I think that's a wide open situation. Frankly, I'd like to keep him around. He'll be 31. You know, could you restructure it where you could lower that cap hit for next year and maybe extend him by a season? I'm sure the Evan Ingram camp is thinking, well, wait a minute. We're not just going to just do this for an extension for 1 year. This is probably his final contract, and they're going to want it to be, you know, a 2 to 3 year package. So get the feeling he's a good guy. You know, they took a shot at him the 1 year show me year and re-signed him. You know, they put a franchise on him and re-signed him, but he's a guy that I hope they can keep around. But things change when you're 30. He hasn't lost a step. That's for sure. No question about that. He has not lost a step. So he's just dealing with injuries. That's going to, I don't think they have as many roster decisions this year as they had a year ago, especially after getting the Walker Little deal done. That'll be intriguing to see what they do with Evan Ingram. But, guys like Andre Sisco, gone. Right? Some of these contracts are going to be forced to stick around for another year. You can't say goodbye to Eric Armstead. You can't say goodbye to Gabe Davis because of the way that the contracts are written. Whether you want to keep Ronald Darby or not is going to be an interesting conversation. He didn't cost you a ton of money. Neither did Devin Duvernay. Before the end of the program.
Christian Kirk is gone, though.
Christian Kirk is absolutely gone. There's no doubt about that. Even if he wanted to restructure whatever, I just don't think that he's been injured too much now.
Production's been too low.
Yep. You just can't do it.
That is the thing with Ingram. If you can restructure whatever, bring him back, I tend to agree with that. But like you said, he's like 30, early 30s.
Yeah.
And 9 touchdowns over 3 seasons. Like his lack of productivity in the red zone and has been red zone issues for this team have been a huge issue for the last 3 seasons. And he didn't help at all there.
Nope. He did not.
That's what you want a tight end to do.
Money is no object for Ronald Darby. Okay, it's a $5 million cap figure. If you say goodbye to him, you eat $2.7 million. That's not even a consideration. It's going to be their review of him, right? How did he play? And to me, he's gone. He's not part of the future of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, you have a corner in Campbell. Jarian Jones has played well at nickel. Buster Brown's been up and down. I still think there's a chance there with Buster Brown. I wouldn't want to sign into the fact that he is my starting future. He's my future starting on the island corner. Maybe he's a dime. Okay, and I get it. They're going to need safeties. It feels like they haven't given up on Antonio Johnson. He's been down. I want to say he's come up a little bit as of late. Still wonder about his overall instincts. So that's secondary. If you go into dime coverage or you go in the nickel coverage, right now the only certainty that you have would be Campbell on the edge and, Jarian Jones as a nickel. Darnell Savage is another one. Let me find that one for you real quick. It hasn't worked. He's been injured. He's been good, but he hasn't really done anything special. He's got 2 years remaining. That's more pricey. That's a cap number of $4.8 million, but it's got dead money of $10.2 million. So it almost feels like Darnell Savage is going to be around for one more year. Let's see what the post June 1st. It only goes down to $7,250,000. So I think it's time to put Darnell Savage in the same category of Eric Armstead and Gabe Davis, where he has to be there for at least one more year. Devin Lloyd will be interesting. Can they get anything for Devin Lloyd? Or do you just let him play out his contract? Right now, my guess would be he's probably in the 25 to 30% range to re-sign. And, 65, 70 to test free agency. You're not going to pay him top 5 money at that position, are you? I'm not. Folks, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. I'll see you at the stadium on Sunday. All pregame, in-game, postgame right here. Hackers up next for JJ LaSelva. I am Rick Ballou. Go get yourself some.